Hi, Stephanie. How are you?
Hi, I'm doing great.
Good. This is for your post.
Thank you, ma'am. I had left California because I didn't want to get beat no more. I was on meth, and I had to have a boyfriend. And I get Social Security, and every time I had got money, he wanted to do meth. And when I would say, no, I want to get a room, I would get beat up really bad. Like the scar here, he smashed my glasses into my face. And I would get beat, every time I would want to do something on my own. I came here, and I was homeless here, too.
I found myself in an abusive relationship, and I was in another state where I didn't have any family and not many friends, and so I stayed in that relationship for 5 years until I finally enough was enough, and the abuse turned towards my son, and so we had to get out. So my story is really the message behind what we do, and I know I didn't have anyone there. I made a promise to God at one point in time in my life and said, if you'll get me out of this and my son out of this alive, then I promise I will be there for someone. I kind of thought it'd just be one someone, but this is what it's turned into. So it's important to me that we're there to be that one person in their life they can count on.
Kristyn Stillwell created H.O.P.E, a 501c nonprofit focusing on getting those unsheltered into a place of lifelong self-sufficiency.
Here you go.
While most groups like hers work in major cities, she found a larger need in suburbs and rural areas.
So we get about 50 phone calls a day of people seeking help. My caseworkers and housing assessors did 677 housing assessments, and there's only 3 of them. These partnerships are vital to our success. I think we partner with over 65 organizations across Harris, Fort Bend, and Montgomery counties.
Sergeant Ray Perez is Harris County Constable Precinct 2's homeless outreach team because law enforcement is often stretched thin. 3 years ago, he paired up with H.O.P.E. They've gotten roughly 200 unsheltered people off the streets.
We wouldn't get as far in success as we have. The collaboration is the key to success, always. And anyone who doesn't have that mindset, you're doomed to fail. If it wasn't for H.O.P.E, if it wasn't for having help us magnify that human factor.
Stillwell saw a need to support people escaping domestic violence with nowhere to go. If you need to break free from violence, start by calling the Domestic Violence Hotline at 1-800-799-7233. They'll put you in touch with groups like H.O.P.E to get you the resources. But like our law enforcement friends, resources are getting thinner because of rising inflation.
What we do is hard out there, and then we also need funders. So we can get grants for certain things, but you have to match those grant funds with individual and business funds. So it's just this whole 3-legged thing. So in this world, this is not the world you want to be fundraising in, let me just say that. When a family doesn't have the money to pay their gas and to buy their food, the last thing they're going to do is offer money up for an organization to help other people. So as people are struggling in this economy, your smaller nonprofits are struggling in this economy. We don't have big endowments to get us through the day. And so we've had to slim down our staff to where we're 5 full-time staff right now. That's just what has to happen when we don't have the funds.
Ultimately, that means they wouldn't be able to help people like Stephanie get through her personal trauma.
It's very hard to get away from because you feel that's love. That person loves you, and it's not love. It's not love. And I even told my husband when we first got together, you don't love me. And he said, what? I said, you're not hitting me, so you don't love me. And that's not true. I found that out, that's not true.
Stay up to date with our latest Solutionaries videos. Hit subscribe and leave us a comment below.